The shocking minute luxury space station Virelian Prime floated like a shining jewel. In the dark galaxy, only the richest and most powerful visitors came here. Expensive ships arrived daily, bringing greedy traders, spoiled nobles, and dangerous criminals. Among them was Ethan, a human traveler who had accidentally found himself among powerful people. He wasn't rich or famous, but through a strange series of events, he was invited to join a secret private dinner held by wealthy traders. They called it the Forbidden Feast. The heir of Ethan walked nervously through the glowing hallway. Following the tall guards dressed in black armor, the doors ahead opened slowly, revealing a grand dining room filled with strange smells, low music, and tables made of polished crystal. Many alien species sat around the tables, some with glowing eyes, others with scales, feathers, or strange long tails. Laughter filled the room. Servants in gold uniforms brought shiny plates full of rare and exotic dishes. A tall alien trader approached Ethan with a wide smile. "Welcome, human. Tonight, you will taste things you've never dreamed of." Ethan forced a polite smile. "I'm honored." Inside, he felt uncomfortable. Something about this place felt wrong. The strange minute trader handed Ethan a black menu tablet. "Our guests always enjoy choosing from our secret collection. Pick your dish." Ethan glanced at the list. Menu 1, Fire Lizard Stew. Menu 2, Crystal Bird Egg. Menu 3, Ice Serpent Roast. Menu 4, Plasma Eel Soup. Menu 5, Special Delicacy, Premium Live Presentation. Ethan frowned. The names sounded strange and cruel. The trader leaned closer. "If you truly want to experience greatness, try menu number 5. The other guests laughed softly, watching him. Feeling nervous but trapped by their stares, Ethan hesitated. Finally, he nodded. "All right, I'll try menu number 5. The presentation's lights dimmed. Soft music played. Everyone turned toward the center stage, where a large silver dome-shaped tray was slowly rolled in by 2 servants. The host announced loudly, "Menu number 5 is ready for our guests." The servant slowly lifted the silver lid. And then Ethan saw it. The shocking revealing on the tray was a young alien girl. She was small and delicate, with soft blue skin that shimmered under the lights. Her long white hair spread around her like silk. To thin tendrils framed her face. Her large glowing eyes stared up, wide with fear. Thin golden ribbons barely covered her body. She trembled silently, clearly terrified. The crowd clapped softly, smiling as if this was perfectly normal. The host smiled at Ethan. "Behold, our finest succulent offering. Perfect condition, young, fresh, untouched. You may enjoy." Double quotes. The wait's room went quiet. Everyone watched Ethan, waiting for his reaction. Some smiled cruelly, some whispered, expecting him to follow their dark game. Ethan's heart pounded. His face grew pale. He stared at the girl on the tray, not as an object, but as a living being. Frightened, helpless, desperate. She wasn't food. She wasn't a dish. She was a person. Ethan's reaction. Ethan stood up slowly, his voice steady but sharp. "What is this? This is not food." The host laughed. Double quotes. "Oh, you humans are always amusing. Here, you may choose to enjoy her any way you wish. It's part of the service." The crowd chuckled, but Ethan's voice grew stronger. "This is slavery. This is sick." The girl's eyes widened at his words. No one had ever spoken for her before. The host's smile faded. "Be careful. Human, you are a guest here." Ethan pointed at the terrified girl. "Let her go, right now." The dangerous silence in the room grew tense. Some guests murmured. The guards at the door shifted slightly. The host narrowed his eyes. "You refuse your meal?" Ethan's voice was cold now. "She's not a meal. She's a victim. And if you don't release her, I'll report this to the Intergalactic Authority." For the first time, fear flashed in the host's eyes. The authorities strictly banned live trading of sentient beings. But before anyone could react, Ethan moved quickly. He stepped forward, grabbed a nearby cover cloth, and gently wrapped it around the trembling girl. "It's all right," he whispered to her softly. "I'm getting you out of here." Her eyes filled with tears, not of fear this time, but of fragile hope. The human stands of large dining room had fallen silent. Ethan stood holding the frightened alien girl in his arms, her body wrapped gently in the cloth. Her soft blue skin trembled against him. The guests stared in shock, unable to believe what they were seeing. No one had ever refused menu number 5 before. The host tries to control. The host's smile was gone. His voice turned cold. "Put her down. Human, you do not understand our customs. Ethan held the girl tighter, speaking firmly. I understand enough. This is wrong. The host raised his hand slightly. Guards in black armor stepped forward. You are outnumbered. Do not make a foolish choice. The alien girl clung to Ethan's chest. Breathing heavily, she whispered softly, no one has ever protected me before. Ethan whispered back, you're safe now. I promise. The traitor's mock hormone of the rich alien traders laughed. Look at him, a soft-hearted human. Weak as always, another added. He thinks he can play hero. Here, he'll be punished like the others. The guests chuckled, thinking this would end quickly, but Ethan stood his ground. You all sit here, pretending this is entertainment. You treat living beings like objects, but I won't be part of it. His voice echoed through the room, clear and strong. The alien girl looked up at him with wide, glowing eyes. For the first time in her life, she saw hope shining brighter than fear. The threat-grossed host narrowed his eyes. Leave her and go, human. This is your last warning. Ethan shook his head. No. The guards raised their weapons. The situation was getting dangerous, but Ethan had already made his choice. I'll report everything. The Intergalactic Authority will shut this place down. You're violating law. Some of the traitors shifted nervously. Not all of them wanted attention from the powerful Intergalactic Authority. An unexpected Alice suddenly, one older alien guest stood up from his table. His voice was calm, but firm. The human is right. The room turned to him in surprise. This place has gone too far. I will not be part of this anymore. Several others whispered quietly. A few slipped away, not wanting to be caught if authorities arrived. The host grew angrier. Traitors. The escape begins taking advantage of the confusion. Ethan stepped backward, holding the girl tightly. The host shouted, stop him. The guards rushed forward, but Ethan was faster. He dashed toward the kitchen exit, pushing through servants, who screamed in shock. The girl held on tightly as he ran through narrow metal halls, dodging obstacles. A dangerous chase of guards followed close behind, shouting orders. The kitchen staff scattered, plates crashing to the floor, alarms blaring. Ethan turned into a service tunnel, breathing hard. We'll make it, he promised her. The girl's voice was small, but full of hope. My name is Leora. Ethan smiled through his fear. I'm Ethan, and I swear, Leora, you will never be treated like that again. The hump against us, they disappeared into the deeper tunnels of the space station. The host screamed in rage. Find them. I want that girl back, and bring me the human's head. The hunt had begun, but Ethan would not stop, because now he was not only running for his own life, he was running to save Leora's. The escape-proof cold metal tunnels of the space station echoed with sounds of footsteps, alarms, and distant shouting. Ethan ran quickly, carrying Leora in his arms. His breath was heavy, but his mind was sharp. Leora clung to him tightly, still shaking. She had never been held like this before, not like property, but like someone who mattered. The deep tunnels at hand turned down a dark maintenance shaft, hoping the guards wouldn't find them here. The lights were dim, pipes hissed, strange machines buzzed off. Finally, he stopped behind a large stack of cargo boxes. He set Leora down gently and whispered, we need to rest here for a moment. She nodded, sitting on the cold floor, still holding the cloth tightly around her. Her voice was soft. Why are you risking your life for me? The beginning of trust then looked into her glowing eyes. Because you don't deserve to be treated like food. No one does. Leora blinked, surprised by his words. But I'm nothing. I was made for others to consume. Ethan shook his head firmly. No, you are someone. You have a name, a mind, a heart, and you deserve freedom. Leora's chest tightened. No one had ever spoken to her like this. For so long, she was told she was only a product. But now, a stranger was seeing her as a person. The danger growled suddenly. Voices echoed down the tunnel. They went this way. Ethan stood up quickly. We have to keep moving. He offered his hand. Leora hesitated for a moment, then placed her small hand into his dot. Together, they ran deeper into the maze of tunnels. The secret path. After a while, Ethan found a small service hatch. We'll hide in here, he said. They crawled into a narrow maintenance shaft. Inside, it was quiet and dark. The metal walls hummed softly. Leora sat close to Ethan, their shoulders touching. She whispered, I thought all humans were cruel like the others. Ethan smiled softly. Not all humans are the same, just like not all aliens are the same. She looked at him with curious eyes. You are different. Learning about freedom, they sat in silence for a moment before Leora asked, what is freedom like? Ethan thought carefully. It's the ability to choose your own path, to live without fear, to feel love, joy, sadness, and hope, because you choose to feel them, Leora whispered. I've never had freedom. I don't know how to feel these things. Ethan gently placed his hand on hers. Then I'll show you. One step at a time. Her eyes glistened with tears. Why do you care? Ethan smiled warmly. Because every life matters, and because I already care about you. The first spark, Leora felt something inside her chest. Warm, soft, strange. No one had ever made her feel safe before. No one had ever spoken to her with kindness. She didn't fully understand this feeling yet, but it felt good. The hunt continuous for above them. The host grew angrier. They cannot escape. Lock down the service levels. Seal every exit. The guards spread across the station, blocking paths and setting traps. The entire lower section of the space station became a dangerous maze, but Ethan was determined. He whispered to Leora, no matter what happens, I will get you out of here. Leora whispered back, and I will follow you. The growing bond small maintenance shaft kept Ethan and Leora hidden for hours. Outside, guards continued to search. Heavy boots echoed in the distance, but inside the narrow space, it was quiet. The two sat close together, sharing body warmth. The cold metal walls felt less frightening when they were close. A new feeling. Leora looked at Ethan's face in the dim light. His eyes were kind. His voice was always gentle. His hands were warm. For the first time in her life, she wasn't afraid of being touched. Instead, she felt safe. She whispered, Ethan, I never knew humans could be so kind. Ethan smiled softly. Not all humans are good, Leora, but I try to be. Her voice trembled. Why? Why would you risk everything for me? The honest answer. Ethan thought for a moment. Because you're not a thing. You're not food. You're not property. He looked deep into her glowing eyes. You're a person. And I see you. Leora's heart beat faster. No one had ever said these words to her before. Her voice broke softly. When you first saw me on that tray, I thought you would be like them. Ethan's voice was firm. The moment I saw your eyes, I knew I had to protect you. Learning about each other while they waited, they talked quietly. Leora told him about her homeworld, a peaceful place of glowing forests and floating rivers. She had been kidnapped while traveling through space. Ethan listened carefully, his heart breaking for her. Then he told her about Earth, about open fields, blue skies, laughter, and freedom. Leora smiled. Softly, your world sounds beautiful. Ethan whispered, maybe one day, you'll see it yourself. The small touches. They sat closer, their shoulders touching. Leora felt something strange but wonderful. She whispered, I don't fully understand this feeling. When you are near me, my chest feels warm, my mind feels calm. Is this what humans call comfort? Ethan smiled. Yes, and maybe even the beginning of trust. Leora softly placed her hand on his. Their fingers locked gently. Her voice was barely a whisper. I want to trust you. I want to learn what it means to be free. Ethan squeezed her hand gently. And I'll help you, one small step at a time. The moment of peace. For the first time since they had met, they both closed their eyes and rested, sitting side by side. Their hearts beat together. Leora felt safe for the first time in her life, and inside her chest, something was growing, a small, quiet seed, a seed called love. The danger remains far above. The host was furious. Seal every lower level. They cannot hide forever. The guards locked more doors. Drones searched every tunnel. The walls of the space station were closing in, but even as danger grew, Ethan and Leora's bond grew stronger. They were no longer just a human and a rescued victim. They were becoming something more. The hunters' close and peaceful moments in the hidden shaft could not last forever. Far above, the host's anger grew hotter. The guards searched every corner of the space station. Their footsteps echoed louder. Drones flew through the halls, scanning for movement. Ethan and Leora knew they had to move again. The quiet decision. Ethan looked at Leora, speaking softly, we can't stay here much longer. Sooner or later, they'll find this spot. Leora nodded, fear flashing in her eyes, but she trusted him now. Where do we go? Ethan whispered, there's an old cargo dock on the far side of the station. If we reach it, I could steal a small ship. We can escape. Leora swallowed hard. I will follow you. Their hands locked tightly. Neither was willing to let go. The chase begins. They crawled out of the maintenance shaft and carefully moved through dark service. Tunnels dot the stations, alarms still blared. Guards patrolled everywhere. At every corner, they paused, listening. This way, Ethan whispered, guiding her. The first close call. Suddenly, the guards appeared ahead. Ethan quickly pulled Leora behind a stack of cargo crates. The guard stopped nearby, speaking loudly. The human cannot go far. The girl is too valuable. Find them. Leora pressed her body close to Ethan, her heart racing. Her whisper was full of fear. If they catch us, they will punish you, and they will use me again. Ethan shook his head firmly, whispering back, I won't let them. I will protect you, no matter what. The growing courage as they waited for the guards to leave. Leora looked deeply into Ethan's eyes. You risk everything for me. I still don't understand why you care so much. Ethan gently touched her cheek. Because you deserve to be free, Leora, and because I care for you deeply. Her cheeks flushed slightly, and her voice trembled. I feel something too. Something I was never allowed to feel before. Their faces grew close for a moment, but Ethan pulled back softly. Let's get out of here first. Then we'll have all the time in the world to feel everything. Leora smiled weakly, her eyes full of quiet hope. The betrayal above. Meanwhile, in the control room, one of the rich traders whispered to the host, the Intergalactic Authority is already investigating. If they discover this, we're finished. The host growled. Then we kill the human, recover the girl, and erase all evidence. He activated more drones, sending a large squad toward the cargo docks. The trap was being set, reaching the dock after many close calls. Ethan and Leora finally reached the old cargo dock. Small ships floated inside. An old loading crane stood like metal giants. Ethan quickly spotted a small freighter that looked operational. That one. We can use it. Leora's voice was soft. Ethan, what if we don't make it? He looked at her gently. Then at least we tried. But I believe we will. The ambush suddenly, loud alarms blared. Dozens of guards rushed into the dock, blocking their path. Ethan quickly pulled Leora behind a metal beam. They were waiting for us. The host's voice echoed through speakers. In this game, human, surrender now. You have no way out. Leora grabbed Ethan's arm, her voice stronger than ever before. We've come this far. I won't give up now. Ethan smiled proudly. Neither. But one preparing for the final stand. Guards closed in. Ethan checked his small blaster. Leora stood beside him, no longer trembling. Together, they faced the danger. Two hearts, now fully bonded. The fight for freedom was not over yet. But one thing was certain. They would face it together. The emotional confession. Guards moved closer. Red lights flashed across the cargo dock. Loudspeakers screamed orders. The metal floor shook under heavy boots. Ethan and Leora stood behind a large crate, their hearts racing, but their hands locked tightly together. There was no safe path anymore, but neither of them would run. Not now. A moment in the middle of chaos. Leora looked at Ethan. Her glowing eyes were wide, but full of strength. I never imagined my life would change like this. Ethan smiled gently, even in the face of danger. I never expected to meet you either. Tears filled Leora's eyes, but her voice was steady. All my life, I was treated like a thing, like I didn't matter, like I was only something to be used. She touched her chest softly. But you saw me. You spoke to me. You cared. Ethan gently wiped a tear from her cheek. You deserve to be loved, Leora, truly loved, not as a prize, not as property, as a person. The first confession. Leora's voice trembled as she finally spoke the words sitting in her heart. Ethan, I don't fully understand love like humans do, but I know this. When you hold me, I feel safe. When you speak, I feel happy. When you look at me, I feel alive. She took a deep breath. I think I love you. Ethan's heart response. Ethan's chest tightened as he heard her words. His voice was soft, but full of emotion. Leora, I fell for you the moment I saw your eyes full of fear on that tray. I knew then you were special, and every moment since, my feelings have only grown stronger. He gently placed his hand on her cheek. I love you too, more than words can say. Leora closed her eyes, leaning into his touch for the first time in her life. She felt what true love was, their first kiss even as danger surrounded them. Their hearts beat only for each other. Leora opened her eyes, whispering, Is it allowed to kiss you? Ethan smiled. Yes, and only because you want it. She leaned forward slowly. Their lips touched softly, warm, tender, full of healing. For a moment, the world disappeared. There were no guards, no threats, no fear, only love. The fight is not over, speakers crackled again, and your foolish romance, human. You cannot escape, Ethan whispered to Leora as they pulled back from the kiss. Are you ready? Leora's eyes burned with new strength. I am, for you. I will fight. Standing strong, they stood up from behind the crate, side by side. The guards aimed their weapons, but Ethan and Leora stood tall, to hearts now stronger than any fear. Two souls ready to fight for freedom. Freedom and new life. Guards aimed their weapons. The red lights flashed all around the cargo dock, but Ethan and Leora stood side by side, holding hands, fearless. Their hearts beat together, stronger than fear, stronger than the threat of death. The unexpected arrival. Suddenly, the heavy doors of the cargo dock burst open. Bright white lights filled the room. Dozens of armored officers stormed inside. Intergalactic Authority, their leader shouted, "Drop your weapons. This illegal operation is now under arrest." The guards froze in shock. Some dropped their weapons immediately. Others tried to run, but were quickly captured. The host, standing on a balcony above, screamed, "No, this is my station. You have no right." But the authority officer pointed calmly, "You broke the universal law. Trading living beings as food is forbidden." The host was dragged away in cuffs, screaming as the station finally fell under lawful control. Ethan and Leora. Safewell officers rushed to Ethan and Leora. "Are you both safe?" Ethan nodded. Double quotes, "Yes, but she needs protection. She was their victim." The officer turned to Leora, speaking softly, "You are free now. No one will hurt you again." Leora's eyes filled with tears, not of fear, but of relief. For the first time, she was truly free. A new beginning. Days later, the illegal restaurant was fully shut down. Many victims were rescued. The story of the human who refused menu number 5 spread across many worlds. Ethan was offered awards, but he refused fame. He only cared about one thing, Leora. She was given full protection and citizenship. And now they could build their life together. Their first home. Ethan and Leora settled on a peaceful green planet. Their small home sat by a quiet river. The skies were bright, and the nights were filled with stars. Leora learned quickly about freedom, how to walk where she wanted, how to eat what she liked, how to laugh, sing, and even dance. She often sat in the garden, breathing in the fresh air, whispering to herself, "I never dreamed life could feel like this, a love that grows in evening." As the sun set, Ethan joined her outside. They sat close, watching the colorful sky. Leora rested her head on his shoulder, smiling. "I was once delivered on a tray, like food." Ethan chuckled softly, "And now you sit here, free, loved, and stronger than ever." She whispered, "You gave me my life, Ethan." Ethan gently kissed her forehead. "You gave me my heart." Leora, the final Prometheus. The stars appeared above. Leora whispered, "Menu number 5 was supposed to be my end, but it became my beginning." Ethan smiled, holding her close, "And now it's our forever." They sat quietly, hearts full, hands locked, no longer running, no longer hiding, just living together.